Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Good evening, IHSA football family. It is time now for DuPage Run and Shoot Show, episode 2, season 2022. My name is Coach Big Pete, aka Peter Leinweber of DeepDishFootball.com. Follow me on Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. And here is my co-host, Mr. Patrick Codo. Please introduce yourself.
Pete, week 2 is here. Hello, friends. My name is Patrick Codo. I am the co-host of DuPage Run and Shoot. I'm also a sports reporter over at NCTV 17. So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. And if you got anything you want to say, feel free to email me. Email me. This time, it's pcodo at nctv17.org.com. We have switched to .org.
Awesome. All right, sir. Here we go. The first score. Actually, a big game. Naperville Central 24. Hinsdale Central. Is it 19 or 14?
That is a 9, my friend.
19.
No, 9. 9.
I'm sorry, 9. Okay. All right.
24-9. Well, we were talking about last week what kind of Naperville Central team we're looking for, and I'd say we are going to have ourselves a sleeper. They look really good defensively. The first team came off of special teams. Gavin, bad snap goes over the punter's head. Gavin Wade chases it for a touchdown. Not bad for a first start for quarterback Chris McCormack. He threw a couple touchdowns and stuff. Oh, the best one, though, they were up 17-9. They were trying to, milk the clock. He throws a dagger touchdown to Chris Byrne on 4th down. It was on 4th down with under 30 seconds left. And then Chris McCormack's like, F you guys, I'm going for the win. Throws it down for the touchdown. Now, Hinsdale Central did have their bright moments in the game. Well, obviously, I finally got to meet our good friend Ryan in person. He did not have any batteries to throw at me. But I like their offensive use on Monahan and Sarnugal. Sarnugal mostly runs, Monahan's passing. They can switch that around. Sarnugal can throw, Monahan can run. Both looked really good. I like how they're using them. And once they get that dice rolling, which will probably be this week, those teams better look out for those guys.
Yeah, I got to say, I was completely impressed with what Naperville Central was able to do.
Yes.
And again, this DuPage Valley Conference, again, is just looking really good.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Glenbard West, without Joey Pope, 33 to Maris's 31.
Now, see, no Joey Pope, no problem. This is what, the kind of week 1 game you were expecting out of both teams. Now, Glenbard West's defense obviously could have finished a little stronger, but obviously they got the win. Instead, it was the Julius Ellens show.
Yeah.
Julius Ellens, to the rescue, scoring all of, their TDs, 120 on the ground, 102 in the air. Despite, Glenbard West getting outscored 24-6, their defense made the plays that they needed to at the end. They forced Maris to miss two straight field goals at the end. And that's the kind of matchup that we were expecting week 1. Glenbard West, Maris at their place. Yeah. I am not surprised by that score. I'm not surprised that the defense almost gave it up. I'm just not surprised by how it all went. That's how you should expect it to go in week 1.
And you can see a tremendous growth in Julius Ellens' game this season from last season. He is unbelievable. And again, there was no Joey Pope. That's scary. That is really, really scary. Okay. Niles Notre Dame 28.
Well, actually, hold on, Pete. Before we jump over, Glenbard West, good win for them. Obviously, defensively, you got some things to work on because you can't do that every.
Yeah. Niles Notre Dame 28. Willowbrook 0.
What the hell is going on with Willowbrook, and what the hell is going on at Notre Dame?
Yeah. Niles Notre Dame was a little bit of a riser. Willowbrook, I feel like it's in that spot that DGS was last year. I think it's going to be tough. I think again the game will develop into something where we'll get those wins. But Niles Notre Dame is just an absolute impressive team, especially on the defensive line.
Yes.
But Willowbrook back to the drawing board, and again get those first week jitters out. I think we're going to have a better focus on what IHSA football is going to be this coming Friday night.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is just week 1 and stuff for a lot of teams. Obviously, Hinsdale Central learned a lot. Glenbard West definitely learned a lot. Obviously, they figured out what they could do without Joey Pope. Willowbrook, it's just week 1. It's week 1. Like, even if you lose, don't beat yourself up. We've seen teams bounce back from 0-1 before. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Bartlett 14, Streamwood 10. Congratulations to Bartlett. Streamwood, they were seen as a little bit of a tough team, but Bartlett held their heads up high and they won.
First win for head coach Vukovic. Had a great support system behind them. Friends and family. That's good first win. Ugly first one, obviously, but a win's a win, as they always say. As Nick Foles said, you rather win ugly than lose pretty.
No, you're right. Geneva 49, Mattea Valley 23.
Well, obviously for Mattea Valley, they're missing everyone from last year, so you can't be surprised about the score. Obviously, Geneva's looking to build on their fantastic their season last year that surprised everyone. They got into the playoffs 5-4, went down to Collinsville and won, lost to St. Rita. So you had to figure that they were going to come back with some momentum. Their first touchdown was on a block punt. Their largest lead of the game was 35-10. Nate Stempowski, 154 yards passing. Aldo Sinise, Dylan Reese, and Taylor caught the touchdowns. Not a bad game for quarterback Noah Larson. 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, also Robert Lynch. But, Mattea, like you said, first week jitters and stuff, they're able to put up 23 points. They'll just got to, learn from this. Obviously, they don't have an easy schedule as you see who they got to play next. They got to go take on the 8A state champs at their place. So, the thing for Mattea is just, improve. That's all you gotta do. Improve.
And again, Geneva is just one of those teams that could be a big riser. And I think again, if you look at it with the Duquesne Conference,
yep,
Charles North taking a little bit of a step back with that tough loss, but Geneva could supplant them.
Yes,
but it depends on again. You still got that number 1 team, and those are the Batavia Bulldogs, and they'll knock your.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look at some of the teams from last week. Obviously, some teams last year, who had some new faces, looked pretty good and stuff, which we'll get to. But yeah, no, I think Geneva can be definitely one of those scary teams. They're always a scary team.
Yeah. Oswego East 35, Waubonsie Valley 7.
Unfortunately, another step back for the Warriors. They had some excitement coming in this year with the addition of Julian Johnson, Tyler 3, that line, they had some momentum. Luke Elsey had the big touchdown pass to Tyler 3, 14-7. He got a ball game. Nope. Oswego East punches them in the mouth the other day. And Oswego East, they're another sleeper team.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on those Oswego East Wolves.
Trey Jones was unbelievable.
Trey Jones, really, Oswego East, really, their whole athletics and stuff have been on a serious rise lately.
Okay. Here we go. Addison Trail finally won. They beat Maine East.
They needed that. They really needed that win. I don't give a fuck who it's against. They really needed this win badly. It's their first win since April 23rd of last year.
Addison Trail 48, Maine East 6. Congratulations to Addison Trail.
They really needed that. Geo Long, 4 touchdowns on 217 passing yards. The Blazers got a touchdown on special teams. It's just like we talked about last week. Addison Trail win some games. Well, that third thing is checked. Now just got to, improve.
All right. Another score that I got a little bit wrong. Conan 26, Lake Park 13.
Lake Park, at least they were able to hang in with Conant and not get, smacked and stuff. Unfortunately, they had a really bad first half that did the trick.
Yeah. I think Lake Park's going to be this season. I just think it's a learning curve from the first week.
Still a young team. New coach as well.
Yep. Glenbard East 28, Larkin I think that's a 0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's a big fat 0.
So congratulations, Lombardista. Again, they look really, really good this
I hope the coaching staff bought them donuts because every time if a team gets a shutout, they deserve donuts.
Damn right.
The defense had 3 picks in the game. Dimitri Hertz and Anthony Heidkamp with the rushing TD. Hertz had 135 rushing yards. Yeah, no, Lombardi's looked good.
Elgin 26, Fenton 7.
James Cyrick, 3 passing touchdowns.
Yep. A little bit of surprise. Noblesville, Indiana 21, Benton 13.
Noblesville was like more of a running team and stuff during that game. I mean, let's not forget that this is a Noblesville team from Indiana that took down Mount Vernon, Indiana, who won the state championship last year. I don't know how they do classes in Indiana, but it was a defensive battle. 14-0. Then it makes it a game. Did you see John Weinbach lay that nasty hit?
Yeah.
For that nasty hit, he laid the wood. There were some bright spots for Bennett, but they couldn't finish.
Yeah. Downers Grove North 36, Hoffman Estates 13.
Okay. Well, first off, this game was played on Saturday because the lights went on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
No problem for Downers Grove North because they just.
Yeah.
Well, early on, not quite, tied at 13. Then the.
Yeah. And this Downers Grove North team again, I got a little bit worried with my pick, but I'm happy to see. Like I said, Downers Grove North, there's just so much excitement coming off this.
They beat Hoffman Estates by 3 last year. This time they, really increased that. So Downers Grove North, they could surprise us.
Time for the bad news. Glenbar North 21, Kenwood 18. Glenbar North, they love to fuck with me, honestly. That's like
hey, Glenbar North, throw batteries at this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're the one that gets deserved to throw batteries at Glenbar North.
Their defense was impressive.
Well, they had to come back too in that game, down 18-7 to Kenwood. Kenwood, unfortunately, also lost their starting QB, which is a huge blow. Demarion Elliston scored the game-winning TD thanks to a roughing the punter call as well. So there was some good and bad in that game for Glenbar North. But again, week 1, they were able to limp away with the win.
They're looking unbelievable. Glenbar North.
Oh, wait till their matchup tomorrow night, which we'll get to.
They're going to be the death of me, Glenbar North. Simeon 41, Wheaton Warrenville South 23.
Oh, I think you forgot about. Did we skip over Wheaton North? Or was that beforehand?
Oh, I forgot. Please don't let me forget the score. Can you say the score?
Wheaton North 28, Downers Grove South 7, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Wheaton North. DGS is DGS.
No championship hangover, at least for Wheaton North, but sheesh.
Yeah. So DGS is looking. I don't know. DGS is going to be DGS again this year.
DGS will be DGS. I mean, at least it didn't get 50-pieced.
Yeah, and Wheaton North, I mean, unbelievable what they were able to do with their line against DGS's defensive line.
Right.
It's sweet. I'm just, that was the one score that I was completely shocked. Like, you're gonna do this to me, DGS, and yes, I'm eating a lot of crow.
You're eating some shit, all right, Pete. Yeah.
So this next one, Simeon versus Wheaton Warrenville South.
Okay, Pete. This game was literally a tale of 2 halves.
Yeah.
A half that landed Wheaton South's favored. They were up 23-7. They think they got it. No. Simeon outscores them 34-0. Oh my God. Once Malik Elsie caught the first pass of the game, it was like a big 33-yard screenplay. It was lights out from there.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that against a good Chicago Public League school like Simeon.
And Simeon, like I said, they got just an unbelievable group of young players, and the sky's the limit for the Simeon team. Wheaton Warrenville South, I do believe, is going to go into the playoffs, probably at a 5-4 record. But just back to the drawing board.
Obviously, they're early at their schedule early on. It's tough.
Yep. A score that shocked me: St. Francis 17, Lake Forest 6.
Well, at least on a bright side, St. Francis got the win they needed, but an ugly way too. After Lake Forest dropped 41 of them last year, and St. Francis put up 31. Like last year, both offenses unloaded. This year was both defenses.
I thought St. Francis. I thought St. Francis was going to win this game by 42 points at least. So
I also feel like for this game as well that both defenses, really went into the film and said, "All right, guys, week one, this is what happened last year. Don't let it happen again."
Yeah,
and Wheat and St. Francis, played a lot better.
And I'll say it again. Week one, the defenses were a lot of defenses were on point. There were
some defenses were on point, some were.
I know.
That's week one for you, though.
Yep. Nequavelli 28, Oswego 3. Not much of a surprise.
Not much of a surprise indeed. The fact that Nequa Valley just keeps getting scarier and scarier. Mark Manicky keeps getting scarier and scarier and scarier. That guy got sacked after avoiding 8 defenders. Yeah, it was a loss, but you can't make that shit up.
No, you can't. Glenbard South 44, Aurora East 12.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise. Here's a big surprise. Deep dish football game of the week last week. Wheaton Academy 48, Marion Central Catholic 14.
I'm sorry, who's this wide receiver again that I've been hearing about? Who only had 24 yards. They came to play. Wheaton Academy came to play. You're eating crow from that, Pete. You were doubting those guys. Oh my God.
Wheaton Academy honestly looks like a real deal. Could be a huge dark horse.
3 TDs for Brummel. Breck Peacock with the receiving TD. It was
the offensive line of Wheaton Academy stifled Marion Central Catholic.
There was no love shown to Marion Central. Absolutely zero. Big fat zero. No love shown.
So I was completely impressed with that. Congratulations to Wheaton Academy. IC 35, Montini 16. Are we surprised?
No, not really. It's just that, IC has has a good duo out there. KJ Parker and Dennis Mandela ate up that Montini team good. Mandela with 253 yards. Parker, 215 yards receiving. Or both had a good game, I'd say. Both had a really good game. It was holy cow. Malik Gray, 124 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Yeah, it was.
And like I said, Montini's less with the 2 playmakers that transferred. So,
oof.
Yeah. South Elgin 51, West Chicago 0.
Not much for surprise. South Elgin's going to South Elgin.
Keep your heads up, West Chicago. Again, new coach, Coach Chavez does a wonderful job. West Chicago,
get a touchdown at least.
Yeah, get him next week, definitely.
Or get a touchdown.
Yep. Deerfield 15, Hinsdale South 12.
Well, this was a game with the defensive battle.
Yeah. I was shocked at what Hinsdale South's defense did to Deerfield's offense. It was a little bit taken back by Hinsdale South's performance on offensive level because Deerfield had on a couple of plays. So
right.
I was completely. I think Hinsdale South is going to be an interesting team. We'll see what happens this Friday night.
Yep.
Naperville North 40. They avoid the trap against Homer Flossmoor 21.
Well, Naperville North got off to a shit start at first early on. Aiden Gray, again, that's those first game jitters and stuff. And Naperville North, they displayed a lot, the passing and the run game. Danny Elo, Nate Jacobs, Aiden Gray, Luke Williams, the Petaways, all doing their things. This is a special North group this year.
Yeah. And Naperville North.
Naperville North, they went on a 24-0 run to put it away. They were up 16-13, and then they just put it away from there.
If I'm a good team, I want to have a shitty quarter in the first game, just to say, hey, don't believe the hype. You got to work towards the goal of that win. And Naperville,
right.
Again, they're unbelievable.
Gray played okay week one, but that's week one as usual.
Yeah. At Naperville Central, with the win there, that area is getting interesting. That area is always interesting.
Look, Nequa, North, Central,
Lyle 27, Harvard 0. Congratulations to Lyle Lions to get 1-0.
Yep.
Not that much of a surprise.
This next game, though, holy shit.
Surprise, actually.
Big surprise.
18, Walford Christian 13.
Whoops.
Minute touchdown by Darius Stevenson of the Westmont Sentinels. They get the big win.
They also had 20 guys dress.
Yes. And that's quite impressive for Westmont.
Yeah. Well, wait, I'm sorry. I meant by the following game. The following game was a massive surprise. Yep. They're about to hit.
So, good to see. Sacred Heart Griffin 62, Rochester 27 is one of the games of the week. The Leonard Bowl, the last regular season Leonard Bowl. Sacred Heart Griffin, holy.
So that game on Friday basically was a message from Sacred Heart Griffin saying, yeah, IHSA, we're fucking here. Yeah. We are here. Last season was not a fluke. We are here. Yes. We're going to kick your ass.
Yep.
And that's what Dad did to his kid. Yep. Literally kicked his ass.
Yep. OPRF 35.
Holy shit.
7 against Fenwick.
The championship hangover is real for Fenwick.
OPRF's defense was stifling Khalil, their defensive back. 3 interceptions or 2 interceptions. It was unbelievable.
Well, they came to play. That's what they did. Yep. They also held Fenwick to 28 rushing yards. 28.
That's impressive. That's just impressive. All right. Let's get into
can we go back to the Sacred Heart Griffin game for a second?
Go ahead.
So obviously looked like to be that classic again. Sacred Heart Griffin was up 27-21. They go on a 35-6 run at the end. It's this Sacred Heart Griffin. I think Ken's the one that wants to end his career with the state championship. And Derek's won enough.
Yeah. And Tyler, after quarterback, is just unbelievable.
He had 314 yards passing, 4 TDs, 3 of them to Keshawn Singleton.
Yep. Unbelievable. All right. Games of the week for DuPage Run and Shoot. First game, Glenbar North versus Naperville North. Can Glenbar North upset the Titans?
Naperville
North.
Well, this is literally an offensive game. This is literally exactly how last year's game was too. Both offenses exploded. Both offenses are going to explode once again. But, these are teams with both high expectations. This game will be decided by no more than 3 points.
I like that. No, you're right.
Will be decided by no more than 3 points, and the team on the correct side of the scoreboard. Yes, I love riding Glenbar North, but this one I'm going with Naperville North.
Oh, Glenbar North.
Yep.
Batteries at Patrick Codo.
I'll be eating shit next week if Glenbar North pulls it off. Of course.
I'll tell you what. I'll eat shit. I'll eat crow. Again, if Glenbar North wins, I'll eat shit. I'm going to go with Naperville North. And if I'm wrong, shit, I'll be wrong again.
You can throw batteries at us, Glenbar North, for right here.
Okay. Glenbard East versus a tough option offense in South Elgin.
Well, you were talking about Glenbard East having a really good defensive line. Well, there's that first big test right there. Can they stop the option? We'll see how they do against the option, because the option's not easy to deal with.
And South Elgin's offense is just special. They got 2 playmakers, especially Montgomery. Unbelievable blocking, great tough nose blocking by them. The Glenbard East, the defensive line, it's going to be basically patience, staying in your gaps, and just shutting down that option. You got to do it.
Avoid the big play too.
Oh yeah.
They could pull some triple option crap too.
And since we're talking about heavy runs, Lyle versus Wilmington.
Well, a matchup that Wilmington won last year. This is tough, and Lyle has to go to Wilmington.
while again, if you beat Wilmington, the big thing and how to beat Wilmington, it will be the passing attack. If you can't pass against Wilmington, you're screwed. Because if you try to do the run game with Wilmington, they will absolutely destroy you. Wilmington is a tough team. They found a couple new playmakers that graduated from last year's championship team. The Wilmington Wildcats are very strong. I'm going to go with Wilmington on this one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same. All right.
Hmm.
And if Lyle wins to throw batteries at Patrick Codo.
Yes, yes, yes. Glenbar
game.
North and Lyle, you can throw batteries at us.
Next game, Bennett versus Moline.
Well, obviously, it's the matchup that Bennett Academy won 23-21 last year. Well, the Red Wings are home, thankfully, so no need to travel out west. I think Bennett, I think they learned a lot from that Noblesville game, and I think they what?
Uh-oh. Yeah, I like that pick.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going that direction. Bennett Academy is not starting off 0-2.
I am going to eat crow. I'm going to go with Moline on this one.
Well, so one of us is going to be eating crow on that next week for sure.
Oh, yeah. St. Francis versus Sterling.
Well, with the way St. Francis played last week, it looks like they have a defense. It just matters how their offense, could transition.
And Sterling has a hell of a defensive back in Cale Ryan. Antonio Tablante, the running back, special running back, good line play coming from the Sterling. I think this is going to be a tough fought game. And if St. Francis can't get there, if they can't get anything together, but last week, we thought St. Francis was going to absolutely blow Lake Forest out of the water. If they don't do it against Sterling, and he keeps Sterling still fighting, Sterling can win this game. So
yes.
It's going to be a very interesting game. I'm just going to toss that up in that game. Next one, and they need this one bad. Montini. Come on, Montini. Against Hillcrest.
Please, Montini. Both teams 0-1 or shit. No, did Hillcrest lose this week? I don't know.
Yeah, they lost to Brother Rice.
Oh yeah. They are both 0-1. Yeah. Montini. Yeah, they need this win. Badly. Yeah. Montini cannot afford an 0-2 start.
Yep. Next, IC versus Julia Catholic.
Holy shit. Matchup. This is a big game right here.
Yeah.
This is big.
If IC wins this game, again, you got to put them in that. You should start polishing the rings and start giving it to them.
I was gonna say if IC wins next week, then we will say that they're gonna win the state championship.
Yeah, no doubt about that. IC, like you said, Parker, he's a hell of a player. Their defensive backs are just playing lights out. Congratulations to Coach Bone and Coach Kraft. Always gets these Knights ready. The Knights are going to be chasing for a state title, no doubt about that. But this is a good game. Julia Catholic, new quarterback, but he's young, impressive. Offensive line still trying to gel together. This could be an interesting game. Next game, Naperville Central versus Plainfield North. I love this game. I think this is one of the best playing games in the DuPage County area.
I would have to agree so, because that Plainfield offense versus that Red Hawk defense. Plainfield North dropped 54 points last week. Naperville Central held a powerful Hinsdale Central team to 9. Oh boy, this is going to be another close game as well.
And I think Naperville Central. I think the big thing against that Plainfield North team is going to be their passing attack.
So, say that again.
I think the big thing for Naperville Central is going to be that passing attack against the Plainfield North team.
Those DBs for Central need to be ready, because let's be honest, those Hinsdale Central they ran the ball a lot last week with their quarterbacks on their own option game.
Yeah,
I didn't see that many passes from Hinsdale Central. They ran the ball a lot, but we'll see how Central does against this passing attack. It'll be a big test for Central secondary. And, we'll see what the offense can do.
Now, we got the DGS versus Glenbard West. If DGS, I swear, if they win, if they find some way to upset Glenbard West, I'm going to be pissed off. Because DGS, we don't know what we're getting. Every week, it's up and down, up and down, up and down.
You're like, where the hell was this against Wheaton North?
Yeah. And Glenbard West, they look unbelievable.
They do.
I'm going to go with Glenbard West on this one. I think they're just too much.
I hope they get Joey Pope back soon. What's wrong with them?
I do not know. I think Pope's going to come back, and I think it's going to be a good game. But I think Gilmore West is going to get the upper hand.
Well, they do have some guys stepping up, so it's not the end of the world.
Willowbrook versus DGN. DGN, the hot team right now.
Okay, next game.
They got to get that. What?
And Peaches froze.
Oh.
Are
we good?
Oh, it's okay. There you are.
Good. Willowbrook versus DGN.
Okay, well, Willowbrook, same shit as DGS. If Willowbrook beats DGN, we'll both be pissed off.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because DGN, Downs Grove North is a special team this year.
Yeah, I want to have faith in this DGN team, but just over the past years of parity, this is just gonna be one of those weird games. I got that feeling.
Absolutely.
Games. So yeah, definitely a big game in the DuPage County area. Wheaton North versus Providence Catholic, a team that's warming up. Providence Catholic. I'm gonna have to go with Wheaton North on this one. I think Wheaton North's gonna win this one.
I would have to agree as well.
Because Wheaton North, they're looking good. They're looking
yep,
good.
As usual.
Wheaton Warrenville South, they don't get any luck. They get Nequa Valley for week 2.
I'm sorry. I got to go with Nequa.
Nequa Valley is just too much. Wheaton Warrenville South, I think the big thing is if they're able to control the ball, then maybe, but Nequa Valley is just too much. Deepest football game of the week at Fox Lake up north. Taft versus Grant. A lot of people are favoring Taft. I'm not going to favor Taft. I think this game is up in the air. I think it's going to be a good game. And if it's a blowout, I'll eat crow, I'll eat shit, and I will say I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, both teams are coming off losses and stuff. But Grant lost 22-8 to Mundelein. Taft lost to Glenbrook North. I don't know. I think Grant can pull an upset.
Okay, awesome. Like that. All right. Batavia versus Lincoln Way East. The first big game in the state of Illinois. Oh, baby. You go first.
This is going to be, obviously you talk about Central Plainfield North being a good game. Well, what about Batavia and Lincoln Way East? These are two state contenders and stuff. But I am going to ride with Batavia. Those dogs are hungry. They're going to come and bark in Frankfurt.
I'm not going to get batteries thrown at me, but I think it's going to be one of the best games in the state of Illinois that we talk about after week 9. I think Lincoln Way East, unbelievably talented, Skiana, linebacker, good, solid blocking up front by that offensive line of Lincoln Way East. Good playmakers on both sides of the ball. Batavia Bulldogs, Coach Pylon, he always gets his boys ready. This is a class.
Who destroyed Phillips last week.
Yeah. It absolutely destroyed Phillips. This is going to be a classic game. And Batavia, Lion Bow is a kid that you must not sleep on. Also, another kid that a lot of people might not know about is this kid Wetley. Out of the Batavia roster is a kid that you might not know about. He's a huge sleeper for the Bulldogs. The class of 2024, definitely a name that you need to know. That Batavia offensive line, you can see the progress after 1 year from last year. They're doing a hell of a job. This Batavia Lincoln Wings game is going to be a game for the ages, no doubt about that. And if it's a blowout, I'll eat crow, I'll eat shit, and I'll say, yeah, I'm an idiot.
I won't be surprised if those stands are sold out tomorrow night.
Yep. All right. Last one for the games. We got questions after. Maine South versus Warren Township.
Both teams came off week 1 wins and stuff, and this one's a toss-up.
In Coach McNulty, we trust. I have trust in this Warren Township team. Maine South is a hell of a team. Kilberg. And again, this is going to be a great game. Spencer Dow, offensive lineman for Maine South, is another star player. Solid defenders too on Maine South. Always, Coach and Sarah gets always his guys to be hard hitters. Simple as that. But Warren Township, there's something about destiny, and I laid the balls on the ground, and I basically said Warren Township is going to win the state title this year. And if I'm wrong, I will eat crow like nobody's business. Coach McNulty deserves it. Warren Township deserves it, and I think that they're going to win against the tough Maine South team. And I can already hear it, the Maine South players, as soon as they win, I'm going to be lambasted with fake burner accounts from Twitter and Instagram saying I'm an idiot and I'm a dumb. Well deserved. But I really believe in this Warren Township team, so we'll see. It's going to be a good game. All right, let's get the questions sent to you via email, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. If you want to send questions to Patrick Codo, Mr. Codo, what's your email?
Codo at nctv17.org.
Ooh, .org. We're special now. Okay. Who was your main surprise for week 1 in DuPage County? Scott Malou of Whedon.
Who was my big surprise? I would honestly say Naperville Central. This was a team that came into the season with a lot of uncertainty, and they really controlled the pace against Hinsdale Central. I thought Hinsdale Central was really going to, put up the points. The defense stepped up, offense stepped up. They were a huge surprise in week 1.
My biggest surprise to me, personally, I have to say, is Whedon Academy. I was completely shocked. I was completely flabbergasted. I didn't know what team stepped on against Marion Central Catholic, but this was the team that I was not expecting. Whedon Academy is the real deal. Is a scary team in the Metro Suburban Conference. All right.
I wouldn't say the same thing about Naperville Central, but we'll see how they do tomorrow against Plainfield North.
And that's going to be key. That'll be key.
Well, if they could beat Plainfield North tomorrow, then Central could be legit.
From another big man, fat man, friend of mine, what is your favorite grilled food? Anonymous.
My favorite world food?
Grilled food.
Grilled?
Yeah.
Ooh. I have to go with steak.
Ooh. I when I was young, when I was in my 20s, steak was the thing. But now, almost anything. Are you propane or charcoal guy?
Either.
Yeah. I like charcoal better because it gives a more richer flavor in it.
You've seen the movie Great Outdoors, right?
Yeah.
Where John Candy eats that 96-pound steak. Oh God, you might want to have your own toilet that night. Let me just put it there.
Hey, and you can't beat those carcinogens coming from the charcoal. Hey, you love it.
Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. My name is Peter Leinweber, aka Coach Big Pete of DuPage Football. Follow Coach Big Pete and DuPage Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Mr. Codo, shoot your private information. Your public.
This is private information. Well, this is the co-host, Patrick Codo from NCTV17, a sports reporter on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you got any questions to email me, email me at pcodo@nctv17.org. Find me at pcodo sports on Instagram. I'm sorry, find me at pcodo sports on Twitter, PC Sports Zone 97 on Instagram. We're everywhere.
All right. And happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. And we'll see you next week.
Next Thursday. I got a big surprise to share with all of you next Thursday, by the way.
Ooh.